If you're here for knockouts, bad bloods, and breakdowns, you're in the right place. Welcome to Flamingo Fight Talk. I am your host, LB Cedarcliff, and next to me is Derek Strom. How are you doing
Yo,
today?
yo, how you guys doing? We got our boy back. He survived the cold.
It's
How you
still
doing,
cold.
buddy?
It's going good. It's still cold. I got a blanket on my lap, trying to stay warm, but it's all right. We're making it in there. We're driving through, plowing the snow. Well, ain't really any snow. Plowing the ice, plowing the air. You know, the way we do it in the South. So I'm sorry. I just welcome
Man,
back.
I was telling everyone the other day just about how cold it was from beautiful Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
It was a nice 60 degrees today on the high. It was cold this morning. It was like, 30, 38, 40 degrees. So it was pretty cold, but, you know, it's supposed to get cold this weekend. I know I can't complain, but we're
Yeah,
making
you
it
guys
work
are getting
here.
some record lows coming up down in Florida on
Hmm.
Saturday, I think.
Yeah, Saturday night going into Sunday.
Yeah, iguanas are going to start falling out of the trees, breaking grandma's necks.
Planning on like, do I want to get up at 4 a.m. and go walk down to the lake when it's
Hmm.
like icy out? With it's like the real feel's supposed to be in the like tens or in the single digits
Yeah.
at 4 a.m. So I'm like, oh, do I get up early to experience a true cold in Florida? Am
You
I
should.
am
You
I
only get you only get one chance in 100-year life to experience true cold in Florida. This is your
tell you
chance.
what, I like this idea. I will post my live reaction to Volkanovski Lopes 2, my first impression video, live at 4 a.m. Sunday morning when I'm freezing myself off.
Yeah.
Volkanovski.
Gosh, well, there's only one way to do it. And just to get right into it.
We're getting
We
right
got
into it. All right, let's get into it. UFC 325, Volkanovski versus Lopez, numero dos. I think that's the top storyline, buddy.
yeah.
Volkanovski, given I mean, not Volkanovski, UFC's doing it, but it's the immediate rematch. Diego Lopez getting right back in there after a win against John Silva, right against Volkanovski again. What's up with that?
It's very strange. He got dominated in that first fight. I mean, the strike totals was double, even in the strike percentage was double on the connections and everything. It was a complete showing by Volk in that first fight when they fought. But it's interesting on his second fight because we've noticed a lot of changes in Volk. He went up to lightweight in the past couple years, and he didn't do too well up in lightweight, but came back down to featherweight here in recent times. What's happening?
I know that just made me laugh. He went up there and didn't do too well. Yeah, he got knocked out.
I mean, he really did. He just didn't do too well. Came back down to featherweight, got a dub, and now
No,
he
he
gets.
came back down and got knocked out again.
Oh yeah, sorry, but now we got the rematch.
And then he became champ again against Diego Lopez. I thought it was a good fight the first time, a good matchup, but now the second time going around, it's just like, you got Lerone Murphy out there, you got Mosari Voilev. Like, you definitely thought he was going to end up fighting one of those guys. I think a lot of people were thinking it was going to be Lerone Murphy. I was hoping so. I
Yeah,
think Voilev kind of deserves it too, even though that he's not getting a title fight anytime soon. Because
no,
damn, they hate him. They hate him. He's a grappling decision machine, so
yeah.
he's not getting the title fight. But it's just kind of that thing where it's like, Diego Lopez, yeah, he beat John Silva, but like he kind of handled by Volk, and he's right in there again. Of course, if you're on his side, you don't turn down the title fight, but
No.
kind of doing Volk to old man Volk dirty, don't you think?
Oh yeah, they're doing old man Volk very dirty,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's kind of give him a little bit of a hand though. If you already beat him, you should beat him again, and it's in his hometown too. You got this home field
He
advantage.
hasn't he hasn't fought in his hometown though since like 2018.
Yeah. I know he's going to be excited. He's lit. Reports are coming out saying he's in the best shape of his life, which I don't know if I truly believe the reports, but that's always promising. I feel like you're not positive.
Is a 37-year-old man in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, it's
You
just
tell
funny
me
when you
that.
it's like, are you fooling me? He got pretty beat up by Ilya. He got beat
Yeah,
up pretty.
and
He got so beat up
then
by what's his name? The other old lightweight champion. Before
Islam.
Ilya, Islam. He got beat
Yeah.
up by Islam too pretty badly.
Yeah,
So
no,
I don't know.
absolutely. It's that thing where it's like, so how
He's been
shocked
in
are
some
you
wars.
with Volkanovski? I think that like we started there because like that really is the storyline of the fight, just like right away, putting him against like, maybe like, hey, he's not the most deserving guy, but it's top like as far as like elite level action fighters go at featherweight, Diego Lopez is at the top of that. He can definitely win this fight.
Yeah.
I know I talked to you a little bit about the other day, like my pick for this fight is Diego Lopez, and I know he's the underdog. I know Volkanovski just beat him, and he hasn't shown anything, but Volkanovski's 37 years old. You know what I mean? He's post prime, which means every fight he is going to get just a little bit worse. And Diego Lopez, he's 31. He's in his athletic prime right now. He's putting it together. He looked great against John Silva. He completely dismantled him, got an amazing finish against that crazy man. And, we just saw what John Silva did to Arnold Allen last week. So, like, Diego Lopez is a dangerous presence in this featherweight division, and he just, yeah, he got handled by Volkanovski. Guess what? He gets to retool and get right back in there.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity not many guys get to do against a champion that's just not going to be as good as the last time he fought him because he's over 35 years old.
Yeah. No, you're totally correct. It makes sense why the betting world is showing that he is a pretty decent underdog in this fight and not giving the upper hand to Volk.
Let me see what the UFC has the rankings at. Keep going.
Okay. But at the end of the day, like we were saying in one of the couple last fights, when you're up at the top point and you start on that decline and somebody else is starting to go up a little bit, you start kind of aiming. You should start looking towards a person that has more momentum going up than somebody down on the decline, especially with somebody in age and has gone through some wars recently. I mean, he's a
The
great studded fighter. I mean, he gives his heart out in every single fight that Volk's in. You cannot take anything away from that man.
mhm.
But he's going to have to get in there and put the pressure on Lopez and just get through the fight. And that's why the bet that I'm picking later on in the video is for a Volk decision because I don't see Volk knocking him out. I think it's going to have to be a decision win by Volk and wait for a Lopez mess ups, which he has done in previous fights.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously gets a little excited there. I think that's kind of might be the story of the last fight. Like, he got in there. It's his first title fight. He's fighting Alexander Volkanovski,
Yeah,
coming off of two knockout losses. Like, he's
yeah.
thinking, yeah, this is my time to beat this guy. But like
Volk's
Volkanovski is
dominant in the featherweight
31.
division.
You know, and like as we talk about Volkanovski, like we talked a little bit last week, like, when we're talking about GOAT, for women's MMA, it's Amanda Nunez. For
Yeah.
bantamweight, we really think Marab kind of has taken that GOAT conversation. For featherweight, is Alexander Volkanovski the GOAT? His competition is Jose Aldo and Max Holloway. And in his three fights of Max Holloway, I think he cemented himself that he's at least just as good. You know,
Volkanovski is very close, undoubtedly, to go of the featherweight division.
it's almost like if he does like put down Diego Lopez and like just like I feel like if he gets this decision and like he doesn't even need to like defend another time, he could just give it up and say like, no, I'm good with what I've done. I'm a legend
Correct.
in the sport. Just like
Correct.
Like, let me look really quick. You
He should
know,
have never went up to the lightweight division. He was undersized for lightweight in general. Yes, it
so
was a great opportunity to become a double champ.
yeah,
It just wasn't his time, and he was going up against the fighters that he was going up against did not. It's not the type of fight you want to for his fighting style in comparison to Ilya's and Islam's fighting style. It didn't mesh well, and
yeah.
for him
So
being undersized does not work out well for.
yeah, so like just looking at Volkanovski's record, you go back to 2019. That's when he beat Jose Aldo. Right after that, that's when he fights Max Holloway the first time. He beats Max Holloway. Second time, he gets a split decision against Max Holloway. That's his first defense. He goes and batters Brian Ortega. That's his second defense. His third defense is where he knocks out Chang Sung, the Korean Zombie. His fourth defense is when he beats Max Holloway a third time. It's only after defending the belt four times against, you know, two of those times, as well as beating it the first time against the other guy that really has that claim as the greatest featherweight, that then he moved up to fight Islam, and he went to war with Islam Makhachev.
Yes.
He almost won that fight the first time. Then he goes back down and he finishes Yair Rodriguez. He goes back up, and that's when he gets knocked out by Islam. He comes down, and that's when Ilya Taporia comes through. Obviously, he came back really soon too, but like, you look at that, like, oh my god, like he just defeated everyone. Volkanovski did, and like, Aldo has that longevity, but like, and Aldo fought, I think, more elite fighters and than Volkanovski did, just because of the length of his career. But Volkanovski has to be close. He's either the goat of featherweight or he's the very close number two. And yeah, like if there's a guy that can give a young guy an immediate rematch, basically, it's one turnaround fight, let him come right back at him. He's not going to fight anyone in between and still get it done. It is Alexander Volkanovski.
No, you're totally right. It is totally Alexander Volkanovski. If you're going to pick a person that can do that and just keep coming back and keep winning even after losing, which he has shown that he can do. A lot of these fighters, when they start going on these losing streaks, they cannot get out of that hump and get back to the top game. Volk has done that in the featherweight division. Even though he did have to drop down back to his original division, he has
Mm.
proven himself very much so. It's you got to tip your hat off to Volk. You
Oh
really
yeah,
do.
no,
And he
Volk's
almost,
amazing.
like you said earlier, he almost beat Islam in that first fight. That is crazy to
Yeah,
think
like I
about.
said,
Yeah, being undersized, going up, wild. He showed what Islam's weaknesses are. And even after that fight, Islam has literally gotten himself better in those categories where he showed weakness at because of the Volkanovski fight.
yeah. I mean, like again, you want to talk about like one of the all-time greats in the sport, Alexander Volkanovski is
Yeah.
like pretty high on that list.
No disregard to Max Holloway. Max Holloway is going to be known as the greatest or one of the best strikers of all time, but he's most likely not going to be known as the greatest featherweight of all time.
Yeah, and for a while we really thought he was, but
Yes. It is kind of weird to say that, but Volk's proven himself.
so how do we think this plays out then? Like we both kind of like talk like, damn, Volk's great, but they're giving this young guy, this young dangerous guy, another opportunity. So like, what do you think like Diego Lopez like path to victory here is in this fight? Like, I think it's a
Don't allow Volk.
physicality thing, and I think he's like Volk's chin is just not what it used to be. It used to be an all-time great, and I just think eventually now the Diego's power is going to wear him down, and it's going to be a
Yeah.
late finish. Personally,
Don't allow the high pressure that Volk put on Lopez in the first fight. I mean, well, did I say that right? No, that Volk put on the first fight on Lopez because Volk kept a very high pace, very
mm,
challenging, very demanding fight.
he had his footwork going. He
Yeah.
was pumping the jab. He was keeping him on the outside. He was making Diego move.
Yes.
Diego was just he had no ability to try to cut Volk off. He was just chasing or being chased.
Correct. No,
You
that
know,
was the whole fight. The whole
yeah.
fight. Even when he threw the punches, most of them were just missing. It
Mhm.
just was not a good fight overall. He has to just come down straight down the middle at him. If Volk wants to go side to side, let him go side to side, but just keep hunting him down. Don't exert too much energy doing it is the key part because Volk has a tank. Don't feed into Volk's trap. But still keep pushing it forward, pushing it forward. Don't let Volk be the alpha in this fight. It's just as
I
simple as
def-
that.
I definitely think that's the thing. Like Diego, it's like at the end of the day, he needs to be. I guess the story is in he fought against John Silva, but in that time, has he like? I'm not expecting him to out footwork Volkanovski, but is
No.
he going to be good enough to cage cut well enough to where he can actually start landing on Volkanovski? Because frankly, I think Volk's getting old enough to where as long as Diego can land on him, he has a
Mhm.
good chance at winning this fight. But if again he has no ability to map out that octagon and be able to corner Volk in these spots and land his power, yeah, Volkanovski is going to avoid damage and just outwork and out technical Diego Lopez again, and that's just
Yeah.
it would
And,
be wild to see, but I think it's a possibility here.
and Diego Lopez needs to know that Volk and his camp is not going to change the style that Volk is going to fight for just this fight. He knows what's coming at him, and he knows what he needs to do. You just got to do it. I mean, it sounds kind of cliche. I'm not the one in the ring, but
Mhm.
if you know what the other person is going to do, and he's upper in age, and he knows that he used that against you in the previous fight, you just have to keep countering it in a different way. I just think is just you have to just keep going down the middle, and then keep going a little side to side. Instead of Volk doing that to him.
Mhm. All right. Final prediction. What do you think?
Volk by decision.
I think Diego gets it done. I don't think he can decision Volk, but I think Volk gets. I think he gets stopped. Third, fourth round. Diego Lopez.
Oh, if Diego Lopez wins the fight, it's not by decision. That is 100% fact. That's why my bet's that. It's Volk by decision.
All right, all right. Let's move down to our co-main event. Man, this fight's war. We
Yes.
got Dan the Hangman Hooker, the number 6 lightweight in the world, going against Benoit Saint Denis, the god of war, the number 8 lightweight in the war, yeah, lightweight in the world. World War, whatever. This is going to be great. I mean, if you want to talk about like you know, I don't know if the winner of this fight is going to fight the champion of the division, but the winner of this fight might fight for the BMF in the near future.
Well,
Like
this is
these
crazy.
guys,
I did.
killers.
This is the only fight. Dan Hooker is the only person I didn't write a single note for.
You don't need to. You don't
I
need
just
to.
realized that. I'm looking through my notes and I'm like, well, let me just go off of what I wrote on the notes. What I wrote
Go
for.
ahead.
I wrote down he had a rough 2024, turning into an amazing 2025 with 3 straight finishes and finishing Darush in 16 seconds, which is absolutely insane by knockout.
Benoit. Oh my God. Yeah, no, I was actually watching that earlier. Like the Darush fight, and
Correct.
it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like Darush is good, man, and like Benoit just touched him, and like his chin fell apart. I know Darush is a little bit older now, but BSD he hits hard, and
Yeah.
he has the grappling too, and that's just such a danger. He's a dual threat.
Oh yeah, no, he's a very much a dual threat. There's been a one thing that he did say kind of recently. Well, last year, I'm following a loss to Ronaldo Mociano, well, 2 years ago now, where he admitted to not studying his opponent enough, and Dennis adjusted his training to focus more on technical, tactical, aspects rather than just relying on natural aggression. And then when I went a little bit more of a deep dive on that, so I looked up his past history before fighting.
Hmm.
He served for 5 years in the First Marine Infantry,
Yeah.
paratrooper. I didn't forgot all about that. Conducting counterterrorism operations in Mali and against Boko Haram, which he
Yeah, no,
installed a high level of discipline.
Yeah, he's French Special Forces. That dude's a fucking killer.
Yeah,
I could. I need.
he is a no, but in general, he is a killer.
Yeah.
But is he a killer on Saturday night? I think he is. To be honest, I'm sorry, Dan Hooker. I know you're on. I know you've been looking pretty good lately. But every time you get to this around this top five area six, you fall off. Every time I've rooted for you, Dan Hooker, you fall off. You've broken my heart like 3 times. It is really
What's your
sad.
favorite Dan Hooker fight?
Favorite Dan Hooker fight. Oh my gosh. Let me pull that up. Yeah, look up his.
I think I
There's
gotta
been
give it to
so
Paul
many
Felder.
wars he's been in.
Yeah, I think him. I mean, I think Dan Hooker, Paul Felder might be like that.
Well, that's his
Uh,
highlight fight that everybody brings up.
I. It's one of the best wars. Those two
Yeah.
guys. I think it's Paul Felder's one of his best fights. I know his Edson Barboza fights are great too.
Yeah.
And it's right. That's the fight right before Hooker goes and fights Poirier, and that's when it's like it's honestly it's after the Felder fight that kind of Hooker I think falls off a little bit, and he's always kind of been up and
No,
down.
that's right.
He lost
He
to
falls off a little bit, then he goes and he fights Dustin Poirier, and that fight was a war. That fight
well
went to
he
decision. It was a Dustin Poirier decision, but that
here
fight must have been 500-600 punches thrown.
here let me just go ahead and read.
You
I'll
remember
just
that Dustin Poirier fight?
I was just about to get to it. Let me just read Dan Hooker's UFC career really quick. I'm going to skip the first three fights. No one knows who they are. 2015, he loses to Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah,
2016, he gets a win against Martin Vida. He loses to Jason Knight, and then this is when he starts really. You're going to start recognizing names.
yeah,
Wins, knocks out Ross Pearson, chokes out
yeah,
Mark DeCoste, knocks out Jim Miller, knocks out Gilbert Burns. He loses, he gets knocked out by Edson Barboza. He knocks out James Vick. He beats Ali Quinta. He goes to war with Paul Felder. He goes to war and loses against Dustin Poirier. He gets knocked out by Michael Chandler. He goes up and beats Nasrat Hakparas. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Then he loses to Islam Makhachev by Kimura. He goes down to featherweight. He gets knocked down round one by Arnold Allen. He comes back up. He knocks out Claudio Puelles. He beats Jalen Turner by split decision, and then he beat Mateusz Gamrot by split decision. And then he fought Armin Sarukian in his last fight where he got handled, out grappled, and choked out. Dan Hooker has you want to compare him to Poirier, Cerrone, Gaethje. He fought all the killers of his generation and a lot of the previous. Like the dude is experienced and tough. He has a lot of losses against not just champion level fighters, but the guys right below the champion level
yeah,
fighters too. I think the fight for BSD is, are you going to be a champion level fighter or are you going to be a Dan Hooker level fighter? Are you going to be a Neil Magny level fighter?
yeah,
Are you going to be in the top 10, 15 to 10, or are you going to be top 5? You going to
yeah,
be a champion? I think that's BSD's. This is his fight to determine that.
yeah. I mean, 3 fight win streak all in 2025, and he just goes in and absolutely knocks the fuck out of, knocks out Benil Darush, 16 seconds. I think if this is his time to win,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't go against any. I mean, somebody that's streaky right now, going up against
Uh-huh.
Dan Hooker, where when Dan Hooker, anytime he gets up high, fumbles. His
Did you watch the Dan Hooker Mateusz Gamrot fight? That's Hooker's last win.
no,
And so I'm watching that fight a little bit ago, and it's like in the first round of that fight. Oh my god, it's great! And it's like again, it's a Dan Hooker fight. Every fight he's in is amazing. It's great.
yes,
It's violence. But Gamrot is landing and rocking Dan Hooker,
yeah,
and it's like I'm sorry if Gamrot, like no disrespect, he's great
yeah,
too. But you know what I mean? If Gamrot can rock Dan Hooker, Like BSD should be able to knock his block off. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm leaning heavily toward BSD as much as I hate to say that.
Yeah, and like I love Dan Hooker. He's like it's going to be great, but I think so. We're both, I think, landing on the same side of the coin here. Like this is going to be great, but there's a clear winner to pick here, right?
Correct. Oh, 100%. It's a very, very clear winner is BSD in this fight.
What are the
If
odds
Dan
here?
Hooker pulls this off, I, I don't even want to think about what matchmaking I would even think of after that.
Well, I know a lot of people want to put him against Patty, but like Jesus, yeah, if Dan Hooker beats BSD, you're not going to get the title fight with Gaethje in front of you
Yeah,
as well as Armin. But you haven't fought Charles, you haven't fought Max. Go for the BMF. No
yeah.
one's going to say no to Dan Hooker getting his shot at it.
No, no one. Actually, that would be really cool to see Dan Hooker get a shot at the BMF title, and
I
he
think that's his
deserved it.
path right now. I mean, but or try to get a money fight. Honestly, you would love to put Dan Hooker versus Conor McGregor together. That'd be an amazing fight. Give him the money fight.
Yeah, it'd be totally amazing to put them two together. Hey, it might happen at the White House. I don't know.
The odds for the fight: BSD minus 350, the favorite. Dan Hooker a plus 275 underdog. So yeah, okay, Dan Hooker pretty big underdog, not huge. But yeah, so I think everyone's understanding that, like, yeah, Dan Hooker, he gets raw. BSD hits hard, but it's hard to put Dan Hooker away. And, I guess what it's going to be is, Benoit, is he going to use his grappling and take him down and ground and pound him out? Or is Dan Hooker going to lure him into the brawl and, maybe get a win?
Well, that's definitely got to be Dan Hooker's game plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's clearly, yeah, there has to be. But,
Yeah, 100% is
yeah,
a game. Will it
I
happen?
guess the question is what's going to happen.
I don't see that happening in this fight. I feel like this fight, for some reason, is going to stay on the feet as long as it possibly can, and then they're going to start scrambling and scrabbling in the third round.
Hmm.
Majority of the fight's going to stay on its feet. I don't see this
Yeah,
fight going to the ground. And Dan Hooker loves to get in wars. And I,
he loves himself a war.
yeah,
Though BSD does, he's talking, and like that's the thing. He talks in one interview is like pretty clear headed. Like I'm focused. I'm focusing on my skill. Blah 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 blah. And then you look at him at the press conference, like yes, we kill each other. I'm like, oh, Dan Hooker is not the guy you want to like. I'm
no,
tougher than you with.
no. Because Dan Hooker will show up and will throw.
Yeah.
Dan Hooker actually tougher than him? I don't know, but don't want to mess with that dude at this point.
I will say, now that we're about that. So yeah, official decision, BSD.
BSD.
You know, most like it's only a 3 round fight. If it went longer than 3 rounds, I would say it has to end in a finish. But the fact that it's only 3 rounds, I can see a decision very much happening in this fight. So I wouldn't put too much. And hey, if Dan Hooker wins, it's probably going to be by a split
Yeah,
decision
yeah,
either way.
yeah. And Dan Hooker doesn't do too well in decisions. Split decision would be the way if it did go to decision.
His last two decisions were split decisions wins
Yeah,
actually. So
yeah. He's not a unanimous decision kind of guy. I didn't even know that the last two was by split decision.
yeah, yeah. No, his last decisions were all by um no, yeah. Really quick, what's this card? So yeah, I think that's pretty much the main and co-main. We're just gonna go through the main card on this fight. There's not too much going on in the prelims on this one, unlike last week's card. But I do want to say, looking at this main card, isn't this like the like if you're a fight fan and you're trying to get other people to watch fights, isn't
Mhm.
this kind of one of the cards you want them to throw on? Because you're just going to see absolute bangers and like good technical fights. Plus probably some good old slop from Tai Tuivasa.
I got a whole thing on Tai Tuivasa. I don't want to get into it.
I mean, you're going to get Tai Tuivasa, Dan Hooker, and Volkanovski. That's runs like you get slop, war, and technique.
Yeah.
with like it's such a great card. I want to like this main card is so good, and
Hmm.
like again, all action fights.
Yeah. Well, want to get into the next fight?
Let's get into it. You
Let's
set
do
it
it.
up.
This next one's going to be a good one. We got my boy Ruffy against Fazeev. Let me tell you about Ruffy. I love this
Tell
man.
me about
This
it.
man is a Brazilian fighter that just knocks people out. Doesn't like submitting people. And I love seeing that from Brazilian fighters. That's scary.
He is a knockout specialist. Like he has flat.
Scary.
He hit the heel kick on Bobby Green, and that was disrespectful. He punched out Jamie Malarkey, who's
Oh,
also
yeah.
on this card. Mauricio Hoofy, he can hit. He can't grapple for crap, but
Yeah.
he can.
You know what his fighting team name is? It's
The Fighting Nerds, yeah, I like
yeah,
them.
it's not the fighting nerds. They got
Don
Carlos
Silva, who got a win last week, also a member of the Fighting Nerds,
Protest is out of there.
and Kyle Barala.
Yeah. Dang, you know your stuff.
Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's some solid people to be training with right there.
No, they're fun. The thing I like about them is they're all four of them just focus on winning the fight.
Yes.
Putting on fun, exciting fights, always chasing the finish. And Hoofy, he is going to be trying to knock out Rafael Fiziev.
Yes.
Um, and he's going, and Fiziev, hey, you want to talk about,
Oh, he
skilled
is
fighters, might be. This was the guy that was supposed to beat Justin Gaethje and had two opportunities to do so and
no,
couldn't.
no, could not. But there's been a turn of events with Fazeev. Have you seen what that man looks like right now?
Yeah, it looks like you.
No, 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 no. He is in the greatest shape of his life. They've been showing side by side pictures of him on social media of his previous times.
Let me look at that.
Dude is absolutely jacked right now for some reason. Not putting any weird rumors out there, not saying he's doing some things, but he's in great shape. He had
He's
a
very
he was going to
yeah.
fight Charles Oliveira recently, but that fight got canceled, which kind of I really wish we could have saw that fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been a good fight. I mean, like, I'm like a read through.
He's fought a lot of solid people in the UFC. It's just not always gone his way. Very similar to Dan Hooker in that
Yeah, I
sense.
mean, like, I'm not counting his first two fights.
Serious knee injury
Decisions
against Gamrot.
yeah, decisions Takasi knocks out Moicano. Decisions King Green. Wheel kicks Brad Riddell. Knocks
Yeah,
out former champ RDA. And then he loses decision to Gaethje. He gets the injury against Gamrot. He loses again to Gaethje. But he comes
yeah,
back and he beats Ignacio Bahamondes. And yeah, you know what? Now he's going against Hoofy. Hoofy, much earlier in his UFC career, he has the knockout of James Malarkey. He has the knockout of King Green. And
yeah,
he got choked out by Benoit Saint Denis in his last fight. There's a clear path to victory for Fazeev, and that is to wrestle. But
yeah.
does the striking phenom wrestle is going to be the question. But he has those tricky sweeps that he hit on Gaethje, but I don't know if you're going to hit. Gaethje is a lumbering fighter. I don't know if you're going to hit someone who's fleet foot like Hoofy like that.
No, just no.
No, no, you don't think he's going to hit him with that sweep? Hit him with the sweep, reverse, hammer fist, pound him out.
No,
No, you think that? So you think this stays on the feet? You don't think he's going to be able to take him down?
not early. And it's only a 3 round fight. If it was a longer fight,
Yeah,
maybe, but not in this fight.
yeah. Not sure. I think I disagree with you. I think he's going to get him with the trips and the clinch. I don't think he's going to shoot any
This
traditional
is at
wrestling.
150.
Yeah, they're 155. These guys
He's
are,
been. I want to make sure because previously he was considering going down to 145,
who,
which
Hoofy or Fazeev?
perceive.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's mentioned it a couple times. I mean, he is a shorter guy, but he's pretty. It's
He's pretty stocky. Like
that's
he's
what I'm saying.
not.
He's not a tiny 5'7". He's a pretty good
Yeah.
size 5'7" man.
Well, what's their sizes? Let me look.
Pretty sure he's 5'7". I don't have it in front of me at all.
5'8" for Fazeev,
5'8". Okay.
5'11" for Hoofy. Uh, 71.5 inch reach on Fazeev, a 75-inch reach on Hoofy. So yeah, size and definitely goes to the striker here or the arms of
They
Hoofy.
both have long arms for their bodies, but still, the size still
They
goes
got
to the.
longer arms than me.
Yeah,
I got little dinosaur arms over here.
yeah. I got my 69-inch arms, and I'm not even trying to make
Same,
a joke.
same. I'm 2 inches taller than you.
Yeah. You just got the meat behind it. You just got the pow pow
Well,
pow.
that's why. No, I just like kick and run away. Like hit him with Bobby Hill. That's my purse, and then go into a
Yeah.
run. But
You got the
hopefully
extra
get
2 inches
killed
on the
by
leg.
people.
You gained it on the
uh,
leg.
but like, okay, so like, I mean, I think Fazeev wins this fight. I think Fazeev is the better fighter here. I think he has I think he is a more skilled, more well-rounded fighter, and he's going to prove that in this fight. And he's going to take it. He's going to mix in his takedowns. He's going to clinch it up. He's going to drag on Hoopy. He's going to take away all that dynamic movement from him, and he's going to hurt him up.
Yeah, with the cancellation of the Charles Oliveira fight that was supposed to happen last year, he's had plenty of time to keep training and stay in shape and not get injuries. And there's been no reports of injuries that I've seen coming out of his fight camp. He's coming in very healthy, very ready to go. It's his time to shine, and I'm agreeing with you 100% on that decision.
All right.
I think we said enough on that fight. I feel we weirdly are agreeing on everything right now.
So
Might
okay.
not agree necessarily with how it happens in the fight, but
Well, we disagree on the main event. We disagreed on the main event. You say Volkanovski, I say Diego
yeah,
Lopez.
yeah.
We both got
I'm not a
the
strong Volk though. It's not
uh,
strong.
we both got Fazeev.
Yeah.
You know, so let's get into the heavyweights, right?
Yeah.
You have a whole thing. Go ahead. I don't think
I have a
this
whole
fight's
thing
gonna
on
be close.
Ty. I have a whole thing on Ty because he said something that was kind of funny. And then there's other things behind it too. Following his loss against Rosenstruck, that was in August of 2024, he took a significant time off to put his feet up and just relax. For him just to still keep losing, that man's on a 5-fight losing streak right now. And the other thing that came out, there's been a lot of reports during that time after that, he got up to 308 pounds.
Yeah, no, he is a guy that pushes the heavyweight limit,
Yeah.
and
That terrifies me. And I think that could be one of his problems that he has for himself. I
mhm.
mean, if you're losing 58 pounds, that's actually insane. I
Well,
mean,
let me give the good side. So yeah, okay, let's split set it up. And frankly, his last fight, being against Rosenstruck,
mhm,
and yeah, that was 2024. So this dude, okay, Tai Tuivasa has not won since 2022 in
correct.
February. That's almost 4 years ago.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's been a while. And, since then, he got knocked out round three against Cyril Gahn. He got knocked out round one against Sergey Pavlovich.
yeah,
He
that was
got
bad.
choked out round two by Alexander Volkanovski.
Alexander Volkanovski.
Sorry, Alexander Volkov.
Okay, if he lost to
Those three,
Volkanovski, we gotta
those
switch this
three
up.
guys are still at the top of the division.
Yes,
Pavlovich, Volkov, gone. They're the preeminent heavyweights. We always knew Tai Tuivasa was not one of the elite level heavyweights. He was a slugger that earned his way there by elbowing out Derek Lewis. He
yes,
replaced Derek Lewis as the heavyweight slugger, and then he
yes,
could not beat those guys. But this is where it gets bad. He gets choked out round one by Marcin Tybura, and then he loses the split decision to Rosenstruck. And Rosenstruck, oh my God, like, you know, that guy, win loss ever since he, got knocked, sent to the land of wind and ghosts against, Francis Ngannou. He hasn't had more than two wins in a row, I don't think.
No.
So it's one of those things where he's coming back. But here's the positive. You ready for this?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
ready.
I'm blanking. Carlson Teixeira hasn't beaten his best name, Justin Tafa.
Yeah.
No disrespect. He hasn't beaten anyone. He
No.
beat no one. He's beaten no one. He's 1-1 in the UFC. He has a win over Justin Tafa, and he has a loss against Derek Lewis.
Yes.
Both of them 35 seconds, round one. His UFC career is not even 2 minutes
Wow.
against Tai Tuivasa. That in itself makes this a great heavyweight fight to where you don't know what's going to happen.
No.
One
He's
guy should win, but he has no experience.
yeah. Um, he has what in his last 8 fights, he's either given a KO or been KO'd, but he's only been KO'd once, like you said, by Derek Lewis.
Hmm.
He's hot right now, but he did just lose to Derek Lewis, though.
He's never made it past in his entire career, minus one modified kickboxing bout against Johnny Pereira
Yeah.
in 2022. Thank you, Tapology. He has never made it out of the first round.
Which
Everything
that's
has
actually
been
insane. I didn't
a
know he didn't
first
never made
round
it.
knockout and one submission.
I don't know how I didn't notice that in my notes. Like I don't know how I
Yeah.
didn't notice that. That's actually insane.
He has never been out. He knocks people out in the first round.
So he
Tied to a
technically had like 3 fights worth of experience.
yeah, no, and like that's the thing, like Tuivasa, he's like I said, he went to decision with Rosenstruck.
Yeah,
That's not nothing there. Like again, he's a like Tuivasa, he's not really a first round fighter, but he normally goes like 1, 2 rounds in these fights. Normally, if it gets past the first round, he's not going to win it.
yeah.
But in this
Another
case, if like that's the thing, yeah. Normally, if Tuivasa makes it out the first round, he loses too.
yeah. One good thing
But
about the
in this
two of
case,
Asa, yeah.
sorry, in this case, it's unexplored tech. Yeah, Jesus, unexplored territory for Talson Texera as well.
Yes, one pro for Tai Tuivasa right now, kind of switching up a little bit, is that at the end of 2024, he said there is a fire that's been lit underneath him, and he's going to focus in 2025. And that man really did take off a whole year to train, to better himself, to get back in shape. That's a lot of dedication.
Yeah, he was 400.
Yeah, and it might have not have helped that he was kind of partners with the Nelk boys.
Yeah,
That ever since he got partnered with the Nelk boys, he went on his 5 fight losing streak. I don't know if I don't know anything behind the scenes. I'm not saying anything. It's
maybe his focus wasn't there.
that's what I'm kind of saying because he might have been out partying. I mean, he was literally doing shoeies on the side, even though it kind of was just a little catch thing. It was fun, but that does attract other attention, and people, especially the younger generation, is going to be like, "Hey, come over here, come join this party that's out in LA. Hey, you should
Hey,
come
hey,
over here."
Cody. I don't think he's making his time out to LA. Just think he's
Yeah,
living his best life over there. But yeah,
correct.
I hear what you
Right.
mean.
Yeah.
He got that sponsor money.
Yes.
You know, they got comfortable and got fat, and then just like, yeah, I'm just gonna swing.
Yeah.
He pulled like an old what's his name?
Just because you're sponsored by Happy Dad doesn't mean you need to be a happy dad in the
He's
US.
pulling an old Roy Nelson. Just like show up there, gut in hand, and it's like I'm just gonna fucking swing for the fences, and like
Yeah, but
if
he ain't
it's
Roy
gonna work
Nelson
or
though.
it's not. Derek Lewis got to a title fight doing it. Why can't I?
Yeah, it was looking pretty promising for him there for a second, but geez, it was a
Yeah,
fall off. Do you think they cut him if he loses?
they have to. Man. I mean, he's fun, but like. 6 fight losing streak. I mean, again, like, okay, what's his last? I mean, yeah, his
If he
last
wasn't friends with
win
the
is.
Nelk Boys and the Nelk Boys weren't friends with Dana White, he might have not even been in UFC now.
Let me say Tuivasa's. Okay, let me just give you Tuivasa's UFC wins that are names you would know. Okay,
Okay.
Andre Arlovsky,
Good one.
Stefan Struve,
Good.
Greg Hardy,
Freaking Greg Hardy. Not too good, but solid. I know him.
Augusto Sakai,
Okay.
Derek Lewis.
Solid names. All
That's it.
solid.
That's it.
Yeah.
Derek Lewis was in 2022.
Hey, but that's more solid names than Patty Pimplett had.
Yeah. Yeah, it is more. I mean, I don't know about that. I think, but yeah, you see my point. It's
Yeah, I see
like
your
it's
point.
one of those things. Like those names are like they're nothing great. Like
No, Greg Hardy.
Derek Lewis is the only ranked heavyweight left in that entire list.
Yeah,
And like if heavyweight was a regular division and not just completely starved and choked off, Derek Lewis wouldn't be ranked anymore.
yeah,
So like tied to Avasa, if he wants to stay relevant, he needs a knockout.
correct.
And I say a knockout, not be like, yeah, if he can, outbox him for 15 minutes, yeah, that's a thing too. But if tied to Avasa is winning, we know how he's winning. He's knocking fools out.
100%. And jump
But
in
I
the.
don't think that's what happened. I think Towson Texera is going to invest in his kicks. He's going to land to the body. He's going to tire him out, and he's going to get a knockout towards the end of round one.
Oh, Towson's going to win. Ties out of the UFC. Sorry, Ty. But there's hope. If you really did put in that training and you really did do what you said you were going to do at the end of 2024, show it. This is your time, and this is it. Or you're going to be some. Yeah, just how it is. Sucks to say. Fun guy to watch, and you want those fun guys in the UFC. It's just you have to win every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Next fight's going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to be a real quick victory for one person. That's my prediction. Were you looking something
Okay.
up? Okay. On the next fight, we got uh, Mokari against, I can't say it, that Sal Kid.
Okay. Jamie Malarkey versus Quinlan
Yeah,
Salkild.
Quinlan
I'm
Saul.
pretty sure.
Yes. Yes. Quinlan's a fun guy. He's super young, only 26 years old. He has a 19-second KO against a Shul. Completely out pressured Nasrat in his last fight. Dude's looking really good, really sharp, and he's really young. Jay Mokri got KO'd by Nazareth, which is kind of concerning for me going up against a guy that just beat the booty off of Nazareth. But fun fact about Mokri, he had a title fight against Volkanovski in
Malarkey
another
did have a title
promotion,
fight against.
but he
I mean,
lost.
okay.
So if he uses what he learned in that loss against Volkanovski for a title fight, he might pull the win off. But I think he's going to lose horribly in this fight. I don't see this fight
So
getting out of 2 rounds.
can I say some things?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm going to say some things. Ready?
Yeah.
Quinlan Saul killed 10-1 in MMA, but here's the real number that matters: 3-0 in the UFC.
Yes.
Jamie Malarkey 6-6 in the UFC.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Um, and yeah, Saul killed like he doesn't really have. He looks great. He looks great, but his best win is hack pressed. You
Yes.
know what? Honestly, Michael Johnson is probably you know, Jamie Malarkey's best win. He has a
It,
split
it,
win over him, and he has a decision over John McDessie. But like, he's another guy doesn't have a lot of great wins in the UFC. He had some
no.
good fights. He's a tough fighter. Um, Again, yeah, he did do that title fight way back in the day against Alexander Volkanovski. That's how he lost.
Yeah,
That was his first loss in MMA
yeah.
actually.
I mean, he has that KO against Nazareth in his last fight in the first round. That's
Well,
another.
that's not his last fight. That was a couple fights ago. Um, oh no, sorry, you're talking about
Yes, the other
okay,
guy.
I was talking about Malarkey. But yeah, no, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, and Nasser Haqparast knocked out
Yeah,
Malarkey. Malarkey's a tough, fun fighter, but Salkild is 26 years old. Malarkey is 31.
yeah.
Um, and inch go inch the reach difference goes to the you know Quinlan, but yeah, it's the he. This is he's getting the main event spotlight. Hey, he's the new Australian fun fighter. He's in the lightweight division. Outside of Dan Hooker, we don't have any other Aussies in the division. I'm glad he's here. He's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, it's always good to get an Aussie in the lightweight division. We always need all the different countries represented. Lightweight's always just a fun division overall. I give it
Can I
to
tell
him.
you?
Go ahead.
Can I tell you one more thing that's really good? It kind of shows, I think, everyone where this fight's at.
Go ahead.
Quinlan Salkill, the minus 1,200 favorite.
I didn't realize it was that.
Jamie Malarkey plus 700. He is the same level of favor that Umar Nurmagomedov was against Davison Figueiredo
Yeah,
on last week's card.
I don't disagree at all. That's why I was saying I think he's just going. I don't think this fight's going to get out of the second round.
Yeah, no, I think the wrestling's going to be on him. I think he's going to have good strike. I mean, that's it. He might have good striking and be able to finish Malarkey, but I think Salkild's wrestling is really good, and he has some good submissions too. I think he's an all-around great fighter. I'm excited to just watch this guy fight and work his way into the rankings.
He's a fun up and coming guy that everybody needs to keep an eye out. Show up for this first
Absolutely,
fight. Watch the fight. You're going to be
and he
looking
has
at
a
the future
huge
of the UFC.
stash too, doesn't he? Just like a great stash.
Oh yes, oh great stash too. Yes, great stash. When you have a stash like that, you're the future of the UFC. He might as well just call out Conor McGregor.
Oh my god.
There's news out of his camp saying that got confirmed at the White House.
Oh yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Until you see
Yeah.
him walk out of the Oval Office, you ain't gonna believe it.
I had a dream that Ilya Taporia, Justin Gaethje got confirmed for the White House, and then I was going to make a video on it, and I'm like, why can't I find the tweet? I'm like, oh, I dreamt it. I'm like, what does that say?
That's horrible.
Oh, he did some. Hold on. The Sun, Conor McGregor blasted by UFC fans as the White House sparring clips dropped. Okay, I'm going to watch that. You keep talking about this fight. I got Sal killed. He's going to win this fight. Is there anything else on the card that you care about?
I'll say that. I'm gonna back you on that. Sal Kud's gonna win it. I ain't gonna have to say much else about that. You look at the prelims. Cody Brundage is fighting. Oh, I forget. Cody Brundage is going to lose um, to Cam Robertson. Oben Elliott's fighting too. Torres Finney. Oh, that's another dude. Torres Finney. If you guys have not seen him, looked up
What's
anything,
BC?
he's a what?
Isn't he Daniel Cormier's guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fights out in the middleweight division. Solid dude, fun guy. He's going to be coming up. He's still undefeated. If you want to
Yeah.
tune into the prelims, that's the fight you should tune into. That and then what Derek is looking up the Connor footage. That footage is funny.
Yeah, no, I did. It muted you, and I'm like, no, I want to hear you talk about the prelims more than I want to watch Conor McGregor. So I'll watch it on my own time. But yeah, no, it wasn't great from what I saw.
It's I don't know who filmed that for Connor.
Yeah, like gone are the days of him playing touch bud in the park, right?
Going over the days. He should have called Floyd Money Mayweather Promotions and see if they could have filmed it better for him.
Yeah, yeah. They should have called MVP promotions, and they would have done it better for him.
The local news could have did better.
High school art class.
Yeah, that West 2 News out of Orlando, Florida.
Oh, don't you hate on Wesh? I like my Wesh.
The West 2 News.
I
Yeah.
got the Wesh too.
Is Tom Terry still kicking?
He's not Wesh.
I know, but is he still kicking though?
Yeah, he's fine. That's Channel 9. I'm
I
pretty sure
bet
it's
he's
Channel 9.
freaking out with this cold weather coming through.
That's eyewitness news. Yeah. Anyways, people didn't come here for the weather.
No,
I feel, and they came here for the fights, but we talked about the fights. We've been talking about the fights for almost an hour, but you know what? I don't think we talked about our bets.
no, we have not.
What do you got?
Um, the first bet, well, not the first bet. My only bet I have is for Volkanovski. I went and looked through a lot of the bet options. It was really hard. There's a lot of clear cut answers, and there's not a lot of options for a plus. Because I try to keep all my bets on the plus side, not the negative side. And I have Volkanovski at plus 150 decision. I think that Volk takes it all the way. He is going to win it by decision. And if you're going to put any money on it, do low risk, but Volkanovski by plus 150 decision. How about you, Derek?
Hey, give me 1 second.
You're good.
Where I'm trying to build in Hard Rock bets, and it's a pain.
It's okay.
Ugh.
It's at the end of the video. It's all right.
Just trying to do it right. All right, I got my parlay.
All right,
It
go ahead.
is plus 5.
Ooh,
I got Talson Teixeira to win by finish against Tai Tuivasa. I got Diego Lopes to win by finish against Alexander Volkanovski, and I just have Rafael Fiziev to win plus 825 or 824 odds. At $10 that's $92. You know, at $25 that's $231, and at $50 that is $462. And you know what? If you don't trust me that much, $1, make yourself $10. Take my advice. I got it right last week. This is what we need to do.
bet that $1 and get that Subway sub.
And if you did make money off of me, I don't ask for any of the money. I just ask you like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, people liked my last bet with Derek Lewis. People are like, "Oh, that's not a bad idea."
It's not a bad bet to bet on Derek Lewis, but keep in mind
It
he's
didn't
going
work
to
out
get
too well.
tired. If it goes longer than a minute, he's going to get tired and give up.
Yes, it went longer than a minute.
Oh man, Lewis.
Next week is fun.
Next week. What's next week? I'm not really looking ahead. I was just so focused on these 2 weeks that I
Not a
wasn't.
lot of huge names, but it's a lot of fun fights next week.
Oh, we get the first fight night, February 21st. So no, we do get no February 7th. We get Mario Batistas versus Vincius Oliveira,
Yeah.
Amir Albazi, Kyoji Horiguchi, Ryan Spann. I thought he was retired.
No, I was surprised seeing Ryan Spann coming up again.
Michael Oleg another member of the Fighting Nerds, against Marc Andre Barrio. He is just violent in a cannonball. Fareed
Yeah.
Basharat, he's one of the top undefeated fighters in the sport right now. He's fun.
Yes.
Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Javid Basharat, buried on the prelims of a fight night.
Yes.
And I think yeah, that's pretty much it for that fight. Who Not the best, but the
No.
21st, I am excited for that fight. We got Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez right now is one of my favorite fighters in the sport. He is so fun to watch.
That's going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah, Strickland fights are always fun.
Yes. Oh no, Strick. Hate him or if you're on the side of love on him or your side of hate on him. It's always interesting fights with
I
Strickland.
like watching him fight. I don't like listening to him talk.
Yeah, a lot of people would agree with
I
that.
think a lot of people agree with me.
But then a lot of people would disagree too.
I only like listening to them talk. I don't watch them fight for it. All right, buddy. I think that is a podcast, but
Yeah,
I just want to say we've been trying to, keep this consistent, put some stuff out. We got some new video ideas we're going to be implementing this week.
yeah,
We will be doing I'll be releasing Saturday morning of the fights, my five storylines going into UFC 325. On Sunday, we'll be doing our post fight breakdown. And on Monday, we're going to cover all the ranked fighters and top prospects and release our matchmaking Mondays of who we want to see them fight next. So
yeah.
we're going to be doing these things. We're going to be putting out our little videos. And thank you for the engagement we've been getting so far. I got 1,000 views talking about Patty Pimlet, and you guys like Patty Pimlet, so that's hysterical. So,
You
and
patty
Colby,
lovers.
you know, thank you for all the editing you do, and thank you for your service, branding all those roads. And unfortunately, I had to hold down the fort and deliver a monologue. But
Yeah.
I think enough of that. Let's listen to you talk and send us on out of here.
Another fight podcast. Another Will. Another May. Another Make. Another Majestic. Another Matrimony. Those are the five M's of the fight world. And those are the five M's of Flamingo Fight Talk. I'm your host, Kelby Cedarquist. And with me, Derek Schramm.
See ya.